have echoes of starlight, the rebellion of Kaya 4. By the late 22nd century, Earth is a dying world. Decades of unchecked corporate greed and climate collapse have left its resources gutted, its skies choked with ash. In desperation, the Terran Coalition, a syndicate of Earth's most powerful corporations, sets its sights beyond the solar system, colonizing exoplanets under the guise of progress. Kaya 4, a mineral-rich moon orbiting a gas giant in the Proxima Centauri system, becomes one of its most coveted prizes. Its surface is a wasteland of acidic storms and lethal radiation, too hostile for AI labor, too volatile for robotic stability. The solution? Human hands. Human bodies. The Coalition revives the horrors of the past, enslaving vulnerable populations from a fractured West Africa, still reeling from the corporate-fueled climate wars. They call it contracted servitude. The world knows better. 1. The capture. The raid comes at dawn. Akia is in her Lagos workshop, fingers stained with grease, welding a power cell back to life. The ground trembles. Not an earthquake, but something worse. The recruitment ships descend like steel locusts, blotting out the sun. Armed enforcers in gleaming exosuits flood the streets, corralling civilians like cattle. Gas. The hiss of it fills the air. Akia staggers, vision swimming, her limbs betraying her. Around her, people collapse, some screaming, others already unconscious. The last thing she sees before darkness claims her is the Coalition insignia, a stylized sun swallowing a planet. When she wakes, she's shackled in a metal coffin, a sleeper ship bound for Kaya 4. The hold stinks of sweat, blood, and fear. Hundreds of others are crammed around her, their voices muffled by sedation. The neural implants hum beneath their skulls, suppressing defiance before it can take root. Through the bars of her berth, she sees a holoscreen flicker to life. A corporate slogan scrolls across the dark. Build paradise. Serve humanity. 2. The labor. The first breath of Kaya 4 burns. The air outside the domes is poison. Radiation-choked, acidic, lethal in seconds. The sky, a swirling mass of sickly oranges and storm-lit reds, looms above the industrial complex that stretches for miles. Akia is assigned to terraformer maintenance, working alongside fellow captives, engineers, laborers, dissidents, all bound by holographic collars that constrict at the first sign of disobedience. Each step outside the designated perimeter sends a jolt of agony through their spines. The work is brutal. Mining stellarium, the rare mineral that fuels Earth's failing energy grid, means death by 1,000 cuts, radiation sickness, exhaustion, corporate punishments. The Coalition broadcasts false promises across the domes. You are pioneers. Your sacrifice fuels humanity's future. But Akia knows the truth. There is no return ticket. No freedom waiting at the end of their sentence. Kaya 4 is a graveyard in the making. Still, she listens. Whispers travel in the darkness, stories of resistance. The resistance. The first time she hears Marcellus speak, it's in the form of a parable. When the tortoise was trapped, it did not fight. It studied the cage. It learned where the hinges creaked. The historian from Dakar speaks in riddles, in Yoruba and Igbo parables, coded lessons passed through generations. The guards think it's nothing but myth. Akia listens closer. Marcellus and his network have been mapping surveillance blind spots, hacking drones, feeding false reports into the Coalition's data streams. But more than that, they are keeping culture alive, preserving what the Coalition wants erased. One night, Akia makes a discovery. The neural implants malfunction during solar flares, creating temporary gaps in control. If timed correctly, those moments could be the key to revolution. The rebellion. The storm arrives like an omen. Magnetic waves ripple through Kaya 4's thin atmosphere, disrupting the grid. For exactly 42 minutes, the neural implants flicker into silence. Akia doesn't hesitate. She triggers the hack, overriding security systems. The enslaved rise, striking guards, hijacking terraformers, rerouting power. They flood Coalition bases with oxygen-rich air, turning life support into a weapon. Their oppressors, sealed in oxygen exclusion suits, choke on the air meant for the enslaved. The fight is bloody. Marcellus is shot transmitting liberation codes to Earth, his voice cutting out mid-sentence. But he erases the Coalition's databases before he falls, deleting every record of their existence. The freed are now ghosts. Undocumented, untouchable. The domes burn. The mines collapse. The captives become conquerors. 5. The legacy. They name their home New Kush. The cities they build are not corporate monuments, but sanctuaries, rooted in Ubuntu principles, a fusion of salvaged technology and ancestral wisdom. The air, once toxic, is purified by engineered flora. Akia stands on the edge of a crater overlooking a statue of Marcellus. He holds a broken collar in one hand and his other reaching toward the stars. Back on Earth, the truth spreads. Footage of the rebellion leaks. The myth of corporate salvation shatters. Uprisings begin. The Terran coalition fractures. On Kaya 4, the survivors look up at the night sky, free at last. The past was shackles. The future is theirs. Themes and sensitivity, agency and resilience. Akia's arc is one of defiance, focusing on her ingenuity, not just suffering. A techno-colonialism critique. Corporate greed is exposed not just as villainy, but as a systemic cycle of exploitation. Cultural preservation. Storytelling and parables serve as a form of rebellion and identity reclamation. Final thought. This is not just a story of oppression. It is a story of survival, resistance, and rebirth, one that dares to imagine freedom beyond the ruins of empire.